homesteading to prepping to common horse sense, we are College Hill Farm. Welcome back to College Hill Farm. Well, today I'm going to show you how to fertilize and maintain your sweet potatoes. Now, we have been 3 weeks with rain every day. Been unusually wet beginning to this month. So we have not been in the garden in 3 weeks. Other than, I think I pulled some potatoes and then I plowed. We got enough days, 2 or 3 days of dry weather, and I wasn't able to get out and work in the garden. But I had to plow on the tractor, so I was able to drive through. I had some other things going on at that time and couldn't get in the garden. And so I took the tractor and just drove through with the tiller so that it was cleaned out between the rows. But I haven't been able to get in the garden and hoe. You can't hoe when it's wet. Now, it's a little bit, almost too wet to hoe today. But I'm going to do it anyway, because if I don't, it's supposed to rain in the morning. So we've got rain coming all week, this coming week. So it's been an odd gardening year. But, you know, my plants love rain. They love water. So, you know, they're getting enough and they're not getting too much. You know, the ground's not staying saturated, but it rains, it dries out a little bit, not enough to hoe, and rains again. So let me show you what my garden's doing. Now, here's my sweet potatoes. This is what we're gonna hoe today. But over here is my corn. See, the corn's up and the beans are up, but the weeds are almost as high as the corn. I got a big old sunflower down there. See here? Okay. Then over at the potatoes, over here, the weeds are higher than the potatoes. I've got to get in there and knock those down. But as long as it's pouring the rain all the time, you can't get into it. So that's the dilemma I've got on the homestead. But today, it's still a little bit wet. See how there are places that there's quite a bit of wet? But I think the sweet potatoes up on the hill will do all right. I'm going to show you how to tend those and to fertilize them today. Okay, here's my sweet potatoes. Now what I want to do is I want to take, and I don't want to disturb the soil much because it's so wet, but I do want to make these weeds disappear, because your sweet potatoes do not compete well with weeds. And if you knock down the row any, just pull a little dirt back up on the row. Okay, and if you get a little extra dirt on the sweet potatoes, they won't mind. Now, once you've got it like that, you're ready to put down a little fertilizer. But I'll show you the fertilizer in just a little bit. So I've got to go down this entire row and get it hoed out. And I want to do it before it gets hot today. It's supposed to get 90 here in central Kentucky today, so yeah, that's not good for old men, so I'm going to get at that. That's 50 foot hoed. Gonna take a little break from my back. Now, some of y'all ask about hoeing, and always hoe standing straight up. Okay, if you're hoeing all bent over, you're not gonna last long. If I was hoeing all bent over, I couldn't do 20 feet of row before I'd have to stop. My back would be killing me. So, get an appropriate hoe. You can go back, we did a video about how to use a hoe. I've got all kinds of comments like, wow, I didn't know that. The number one, the next thing other than mechanics of standing up and body mechanics of using your hoe is that your hoe needs to be sharp as a knife. Okay? That way as you just drag it over the weeds, it just clips them off. Okay? It's not like you have to dig them, because that wears you out. A sharp hoe, sharpen it every year, a couple times a year, and you won't be sorry. Alright, I'll come back to you when I get this row finished hoeing. Oh, 100 foot row hoed. It is not conducive to working out here this morning. It is only 70 degrees, but the relative humidity is like 92%. So the humidity's banging it. It's hard on an old guy. So let's get these fertilized, and then I've got some other things that need to get done too. I've got tons and tons and tons of hoeing to do. If you don't see me much in the next couple of weeks, it's because 90% of what's going to go on here on the homestead every morning at 6 a.m. is hoeing. Hoeing, hoeing, hoeing. That's the way it works. Okay? You get to a certain part of the year and all you do is hoe. Then your garden's laid by after a while. Paul called it laid by. Meant you don't have to hoe anymore. Okay? But that don't come for a while. So let's put on some fertilizer. Now, what I've got here is a 10-10-10 slow release fertilizer in pellets. Okay? I keep them in a 5-gallon bucket with a tight fitting lid. I just leave it right in the back of my truck, and it does fine all winter long. Okay? Sometimes I'll put them in the building out of the sun to help preserve the nitrogen in them, but you can smell that ammonia. Whew. Okay. So I'm going to put these on the sweet potatoes. Now, this is the only fertilizing I'll do. They need 4 pounds for this 100-foot row. So the way fertilizer is made, its volume equals its mass, or its weight. So this is 1 pound of fertilizer. This is a 20-ounce bottle of soda bottle. I'll not say what kind. It's a soda bottle, 20 ounce, and about right there is a pound of fertilizer. So it needs 4 of those down this row. And let me show you how to apply them. You don't apply them directly to the plant. You'll burn it. Okay, here's my sweet potatoes. So what you want to do, these sweet potatoes are between 8 inches and a foot apart. So you come up here between each sweet potato and sprinkle about a teaspoon of fertilizer. That's it. And I'm going to go down the entire row and do that. Were you counting on me as I went down through there? When I got the fertilizer out, I put 6 pounds in this bucket. There's a pound, about a half a pound left. So I actually put about 4.5 pounds instead of 4 pounds on this. I might have got a little happy at a couple of hills, and they might have got more than other hills. Now, over the year, as the year goes on, I'll probably hoe these one more time. Then the sweet potatoes will start filling the ground, okay? And they'll choke out any weeds. They'll be like a heavy cucumber patch. They'll just choke any weeds out, not all of them, okay? There'll be some weeds grow up through them. We've got that old knotweed here. I call it knothead weed, but it'll grow through anything. I hate the stuff. But it will grow up, and the sweet potatoes will take care of things. Now, why won't I fertilize them again? Sweet potatoes are a desert plant. They're used to really dry conditions and low soil quality. So if they have too much fertilizer, they will put on all kinds of vines and no sweet potatoes. Okay? You want sweet potatoes. Too much fertilizer yields very few sweet potatoes. Never miracle grow sweet potatoes. Let me say that again. Never miracle grow sweet potatoes. It's a high nitrogen stuff that makes foliage grow, not tubers. Regular potatoes are the same way. Never miracle grow potatoes or tuber crops. Never miracle grow beets or turnips or, okay, does that make sense? Don't do it. Use a slow release fertilizer. You'll be a lot better off. Now, if you like that stuff, this homesteading, do-it-yourself kind of thing, be certain to come on out to the channel and subscribe. We do this homesteading stuff every week, sometimes 1, sometimes 5 videos. Just depends on what's going on in the homestead that week. Now, if you hit the little bell when you come to the channel, it'll notify you when we upload a video. We upload every Sunday. Now, with that being said, it's time for me to get on to the next thing. And ho, 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 like Santa.